The hearing for the Freeman High School shooting suspect starts in just a few hours. We will preview what is expected today in court. It's a law created by students for students. Just like sick days, Oregon students will be able to take days off from school. We will tell you the reasoning behind it. Cans and boxes of food may not seem like much, but for families at the Ronald McDonald House, that food can really help. We will tell you how you can help. Well, during the weekend, millions across the U.S. agreed it's really hot outside. The hashtag "It's so hot that" is trending online this morning. Twitter users posted pictures of animals in front of air vents, in swimming pools, and even some in the fridge, as you can see there on the right. A police department in Pennsylvania kindly took to Facebook to ask criminals to wait until the weather cooled down to break the law.
That's just like the little golden retriever or lab that's in the refrigerator on the bottom right there.
I want him in my house.
Exactly, in my refrigerator.
Well, 5 a.m. now on our Monday morning. Welcome to KREM 2 Morning News. Happy to have you with us. I'm Jen York.
And I'm Evan Urani. Monday morning is here. And now we are starting to see those very warm temperatures that the other side of the country was seeing late last week.
Because otherwise a beautiful weekend though, right?
It was a great weekend.
Yeah.
It was just a progressive warm up as the weekend went on. So now as we start off this week, we'll expect today and tomorrow to be the warmest days that we've got so far. We're going to be making it to the 90s. So
it's been a minute.
It's been a quick minute. A very mild summer is what we've had so far. We're going to be warming up though. We are all ready now to start off just the 5 o'clock hour in the 70s in some spots. So so much for maybe being able to open your window up overnight. Not so much this morning. We've got a lot of 60s on there too though. 63 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 72 in Pullman right now, 71 in Moscow, 66 in Moses Lake, and only a couple 40s on there. We got Sandpoint at 49, Mazama at 47 degrees to start off the morning. Now going forward, what we've got is again another day of very warm temperatures. Here's the view as the sun makes its way up over Mount Spokane. We've got very few clouds, and if we do, they're very thin, kind of wispy clouds that are going to clear out very quickly. Not going to produce any moisture until about the afternoon and evening hours, where some afternoon thunderstorms are possible. Here's what we got over the next 12 hours though. You can see there is a chance that by the time the afternoon comes around, about between 10 and noon, that clouds are going to fill the sky a little bit more than what we've seen over the last several days, but those temperatures are going to keep warming up. We're going to make it to about 90, 91 degrees in eastern Washington. Mid-90s are expected in central Washington, and tomorrow is going to be another warm day with a few chances of some thunderstorms by the afternoon and evening hours that we'll go over on Future Tracker in just a second, Jen.
All right, Evan, thank you. 5:02 now. A hearing for the Freeman High School shooting suspect resumes this morning in Spokane. The hearing will determine whether he will be tried as an adult. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is live at the courthouse this morning. And Nicole, both sides will be giving their closing statements in just a few hours.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, Jen. So today marks a week since the hearing actually started. Several people have been called to the witness stand to testify. The latest included the Freeman School District's psychologist, the high school principal, and the school resource officer. So the district psychologist, who's been working with the accused shooter, said that the shooting had prompted several students and staff to leave the district. She described the effects of that day as, quote, catastrophic. Since the shooting, she's noticed Freeman students and staff have been in survival mode, and she said they're now showing physical and mental exhaustion.
This year is the year that I'm seeing some massive executive functioning issues in everybody, students, staff, community members, parents. There's a lot of physical and mental exhaustion. There's a lot of irritability. There's a lot of memory issues, planning issues.
We also learned a new piece of information from the detective who took the stand. Major crime detective Scott Bonney said the accused shooter had been planning the shooting for about 2 years. Bonney interviewed the accused suspect shortly after he was arrested. Now the hearing will continue today at 9:30 a.m. and we will keep you updated with any new information we get. But for now, if you want more information, you can head to our website, krem.com. Live here at the courthouse, I'm Nicole Hernandez. I'll send it back to you guys.
Nicole, thank you so much. 5:04 now. Authorities say weather may be to blame for a crane collapse in New Jersey. Authorities say the crane tipped over and took down several power lines and even crushed the third floor of a home. No one was home at the time. No other injuries are reported. Police believe strong wind and rain may be to blame. This comes after a crane collapsed in Seattle in April and another one collapsed in Texas just last month. Here are the top stories that you need to know before you start your day. Idaho State police officers say a driver hit a teenager on Highway 95 just north of Athol. Investigators believe the victim had pulled over on the shoulder. They say the 19-year-old got out of the truck and was attempting to retrieve something he lost on the road. They say a southbound traveling car then hit the man while he was in the road. The highway was partially blocked yesterday for 2 hours. Medics airlifted the teen to Sacred Heart Medical Center in Spokane. Police say the passengers in the other car were not injured. On the west side of the state, several Puget Sound beaches will reopen today. This comes after millions of gallons of untreated sewage poured into the Sound on Friday. The Washington Department of Ecology blamed the spill on a pumping system failure at 2 sewage plants. One plant released an estimated 3 million gallons of sewage for nearly half an hour. Authorities say both plants seem to have experienced power failures that likely caused the treatment systems to fail. The Spokane Indians are going to the playoffs. The team made a comeback last night against the Everett Aqua Sox. They claimed the Northwest League North Division title. The Indians were down 3-0 going into the 7th inning. But with their comeback, the Indians won 5-4. The team has 7 days to decide whether it wants to host Game 1 of its first round series or Games 2 and 3. However, the team told our sports department they plan on letting fans know in the next couple of days.
Seattle fans, thank you for always being there for me. Since 1987, you gave me your unconditional support, and it was even more prevalent in the last 10 years. The support you gave me over the social media really helped me to get here today. Thank you, Mariner fans. You are the best fans I could ever hope for. I am so glad that I stayed with you until the end of my career.
Well, it's finally official. Seattle Mariners legend Edgar Martinez was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Martinez is the 3rd Mariners player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He follows Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey Jr. He was voted in his 10th and final year of eligibility. He spent his entire 18-year career with the Mariners, and it was with that organization that lobbied for a decade to get him there. Hundreds of Mariners fans from the Pacific Northwest traveled to Cooperstown for the induction this weekend. Martinez said, "It's amazing to hear about all the fans who made the journey to see his big day."
It is hard to believe that a dream that started when I was about 10 years old will take me on an amazing journey. The support you gave me over the social media really helped me to get here today. Thank you, Mariner fans. You are the best fans I could ever hope for. I am so glad that I stayed with you until the end of my career. I love you, Seattle fans. Thank you.
Martinez said the city of Seattle and the Mariners were good to him, and that's why he never left. In his career, he made 7 All-Star appearances. He is the Mariners' all-time leader in doubles. The Mariners retired his jersey, number 11, in 2017. Time now, 5:08. Under a new law, Oregon students will be allowed to take mental health days just as they would sick days. Experts say this kind of law is a first of its kind in the U.S. We want to know what you think this morning. Do you think Washington and Idaho should enforce a similar law? Let us know by heading to krem.com/vote or click on the Vote Now tab on the KREM 2 mobile app. The students behind the measure say it's meant to change the stigma around mental health. They say Oregon has one of the highest suicide rates in the U.S. Experts say the new law will instruct schools to treat mental health on the same platform as physical health. The bill was signed last month by Governor Kate Brown. Under the state law, students can now have up to 5 absences excused in a 3-month period. Anything more requires a written letter to the principal. The students behind the legislature say events like the Parkland, Florida school shooting inspired them to bring up the legislature. And taking a look at our poll this morning, should Washington and Idaho allow mental health days for students? 71% of you say no, it is not necessary. Of course, you can weigh in this morning on KREM.com and again on the KREM 2 mobile app. 5:09 now. Let's check in with Evan for one thing you need to know today about the weather.
Jen, the biggest thing is that we are going to really heat up as the afternoon and evening come around today and tomorrow. Keep in mind, out of all natural disasters, heat-related are the most likely to cause death, actually. They're higher than hurricanes, tsunamis, all those kinds of things. Heat is actually the biggest, the #1 killer. So keep in mind it is important that everyone stay hydrated, that you keep sunscreen on, that you keep track of anyone who maybe doesn't have air conditioning, or that you find a place to stay cool in the area, as some temperatures are soaring to the near 100-degree range, especially toward about south central Washington. A high in Richland today of 99 degrees. Moses Lake, 98 degrees. Back to you, Jen.
All right, Evan, thank you. 5:10 now. President Trump is taking aim at 4 freshman House members of color, also known as the Squad, and it's prompted many Democratic leaders to condemn the president's statements as racist. In the most recent remarks, the president tweeted, "I don't believe the 4 congresswomen are capable of loving our country." The House condemned those comments, and one of the congresswomen being attacked said she believes the president is trying to divide the public. Meanwhile, the White House is fighting back, saying Democratic leaders are knowingly misconstruing his words. Republican leaders insist the president is focused on politics and not race.
He doesn't want to be president anymore because he wants to pick and choose who he is a president to, and that's not a president.
I fundamentally disagree with the view that if you criticize somebody and they happen to be a different color skin, that makes it a racial criticism.
A new CBS poll shows 82% of Republicans agree with what the president is saying. Meanwhile, 88% of Democrats say they did not. Meanwhile, former special counsel Robert Mueller is set to testify on Capitol Hill on Wednesday. He will testify in back-to-back hearings. Mueller previously said he does not plan on saying anything that is not already in his report. Back here locally, the Ronald McDonald House is asking for your help this morning. Summer is its busiest season because kids are out of school and families can stay there together. They say it is great for families, but that means they run out of food quickly. Now leaders are asking for your help restocking shelves for the families who moved in with almost no time to prepare.
Think about if you had less than 24 hours notice and you were going to be away from your house for 3 months, for 6 months, for 18 months, the kind of upheaval that is for families. You know, the longer they're here, the more they get their legs underneath them and the support system, but then also the longer that they're here, the more stress that is on their family.
People can donate in person and they can have online orders delivered straight to the Ronald McDonald House. The organization is looking for non-perishable foods, so things like canned soups, pastas, and granola bars. Some families are staying several months. Others can stay for more than a year while their child receives treatment at a local hospital. Organizers say ultimately it's about taking stress away from the families. It is 5:12 now on our Monday morning. A baby in St. Louis is bringing a whole new meaning to having a lucky number. Coming up in the next 3 minutes, we explain what a convenience store is doing for a girl with a unique birthday. And crews are continuing to fight fires across the state. Coming up, we have everything you need to know about the latest wildfires.